Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwahn and welcome to episode number 46 of an ongoing series, First Impression. The series where we play through the beginning of a video game and review the game from the perspective of only one that shows us at that very beginning introduction. This week we are going to see what impression the beginning of the action-adventure game Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice leaves on us. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice was developed and published by Ninja Theory and released on most platforms in late 2017. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice was meant to be an experimental title. Ninja Theory wanted to take the idea of this big budget game with these really high-end graphics and this well-tuned, smooth gameplay and put it into a smaller experience for less money. So you're getting less game, but they also only charged $30 at its release. And wanted to try and test the waters with that, and given the game's critical acclaim and the awards that it's won, it apparently went really well. But does it have a good first impression? Does it hook you well at the very beginning? Well, that's what we're here to find out. I'm very interested to see what it has in store. But before we get started, I'd like to invite you over to the Twitch channel. We do go live on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. But without further ado, let's begin.
All right. So this is Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. We are going to be using a Xbox controller. Cool.
Hello.
Hi.
Who are you?
Schwahn.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, why'd you ask?
Welcome.
Thanks.
You're safe with me.
I don't believe you.
I'll be right here.
Okay.
Nice and close so I can speak without alerting the others.
Okay.
Let me tell you about Senua. Now, her story has already come to an end, but now it begins anew.
Who are you?
What's happening? It's breathing. Dead. It's breathing. It's breathing. He knows she's getting closer. He can feel her coming closer. She's getting closer. They're watching. They're watching. They're watching.
This is a journey deep into darkness. There will be no more stories after this one.
What is she doing? Why is she doing this? They're watching. Why doesn't she turn coming? She's doing this for him. She wants to rescue him. He's already done. I can feel you coming. Quiet.
Oh, how rude of me. I never told you of the others. You hear them too, right? They've been around ever since the tragedy. Well, that's not quite true. Some are old, some are new, but they've changed. I think the darkness changed them, just like it changed her.
Can you see them? Over there.
Why isn't she looking?
Why aren't you looking? He's in hell high.
Look, up ahead.
Hell high.
You see it too?
You promised you gave you.
Yes. It is real after all. She's finally arrived in the land of mist and fog. The place the Northmen call hell.
Can you get out of my left ear?
Turn back. Go back. Go back. It's not safe. Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. It's not safe.
It's them. They're here.
Some really clear voice sounds. Like, they did a really good job with the sound design, at least so far.
Look around and you'll see them.
Oh, I can actually look around. Okay.
Slain. Here they lie, rotting in the fields and rivers of hell. But the dead don't always lie still here. This is not a place of rest.
Can't do this. Go back. Go back.
Oh, some cutout on the audio there.
They're going to do that to you. Can you see them? Can you see them? They're going to do that to you.
Is that one of the bodies that made that noise?
They're watching. They're watching her. They're watching her. You're so close to the darkness. Go back. Can you feel
Some really good sound design.
What is she thinking? I can tell you. She's afraid. Wouldn't you be? You'd think she would get used to it by now after so many years. But the darkness, it just builds onto itself, growing stronger, towering over her. You might try and ignore it, turn away. But it's always there, just out of sight, where you're most vulnerable. It's like it knows that just enough light is all you need to see its suffocating power.
That's some anxiety-inducing shit right now.
They can feel you.
You might think she's brave to go on this journey on her own. But it isn't bravery that drives her.
I don't know anything about her journey.
Bravery only means something to those afraid of death. Senua's fear runs far, far deeper.
Okay. Ugh.
What is she looking at? What is she leaving behind?
Us, apparently.
I know what she's thinking.
Hi.
I hear her thoughts. It's not too late to get into the boat and go back. No one will judge her. No one will ever know. Oh, she heard us. There's no going back.
Okay.
You can't do it.
Senua pushes away a world that conspired to cause so much suffering. There's nothing to go back to, and worse to look forward to. Why don't you join us? Maybe you two have a part to play in this story.
Me? Or her? Playing the pronoun game all over the place. Okay, I can move now. Do my buttons do anything? Wait, this does. But that's all that my buttons do right now.
You have to take a closer look to see. Why isn't she focusing? She needs to focus now.
Do not forget my stories, Senua. Because your darkness comes from hell, and your fate lies there. They say the burning of a corpse will take you straight to Hela's gate, but gods and the living will follow this path. You must leave the Isles of Orkney across the eastern sea and find a road that leads north and down through deep, dark valleys. After 9 nights of riding, you will follow a great river and will find a bridge covered in gold. The path to Helheim goes from there, across the River of Knives that flows from the dark world of Niflheim.
Okay, are we done with the exposition drop? Yeah? Okay. Do I want to walk through this? I guess so. Oh, there's some... Is that actual texture shit, or is it we're going crazy shit? I don't actually know. Can I go over this log? Yes, okay, so she just naturally goes over it. That water looks a little funky. Okay, that... What was the point of the boat if you're just gonna wade through all this anyway?
The darkness is coming. It yearns for life. Hungers for it.
I can't run. I literally can't. None of the buttons... Oh, wait. A button does do a run thing. That wasn't there before. Jesus Christ.
Not this time.
Oh, oh, okay, I lost control of my camera. Okay. The...
Land of mist and fog. The old fool was right.
Who's he? Can we not play the pronoun
What did
game?
he said?
I feel very confused, and not like in a confused, not in a good way.
Hell. The place they call Helheim.
He's lost. He's lost.
Where are you?
Like, there's one thing about dropping somebody in the middle of the story to where, like, things have already happened or are happening, but as the consumer, whether you're reading a book or playing the game, you really need to give us a little bit to string us along.
There's no doubt about it. The source of the darkness is in Helheim. And the goddess Hela holds his soul there. Her dear beloved, Dillian.
Okay, so we're going to get her dead lover's soul back, but she's also somewhat crazy.
Why is she doing this? Why doesn't she turn back? She's doing this for him. She wants to rescue
Okay.
He's already dead. His soul is in Helheim. His soul.
Man, the movement looks really good.
I forget its
Can I open a menu? I can. Okay. Graphics. Is motion blur something that I can turn off? No. Damn it. Okay. Okay. Well, I see what my controller's supposed to be whenever I get them. X, Y, B, block. Okay, well, when I get there,
She forgets
presumably. I hope that within whatever feels like the beginning of this game, I will get to draw that sword and fight something. How many
So easy to
collectibles, discoverables are there? I've seen lots of places where they could have put, like, little things for, like, achievement grinds.
shall we?
But with the general, like, back here would have been, like, a good place to, well, relatively speaking, to find, like, I don't know, collect the 49 golden coins of hell. But this game also would probably will do better by not having those things. Those real gamey mechanics. Again, speaking of, like, little extra spots. Game's pretty, though. I do wish I could turn off the motion blur or something fierce. Like, we're on decent hardware here. We don't need motion blur.
The Northmen speak of 9 worlds. The world of men they call Midgard. Sky gods dwell in Asgard. The gods of earth,
Okay.
harvest, wind, and sea.
Will you keep talking if I leave?
Vanaheim. The good elves dwell in Alfheim. The evil ones dwell in Svartalfheim. The mountain giants dwell in Jotunheim. The fire giants dwell in Muspelheim. Niflheim is the world of ice and darkness. Only the dead dwell in Helheim. And that is where you must travel.
You know, I like because of how good everything looks and how the her movement's well, not when I do this, actually. But her movement in general is pretty natural looking. And because of the general tone of things, I'm not feeling the want or the need. The water looks pretty bad. But I'm not feeling the want or the need to rush through this. Like, just sprint to wherever I think the objective is at.
Get down.
What's she waiting for?
Know where you are?
Pretty much one button for...
She shouldn't have done it.
She can't go back now. No, this is it.
Don't laugh at me.
Hidden path.
Or laugh at her? I don't know. Alright. Well, sup? We gonna open the doors to hell? Is that what we're about to do?
It's dangerous.
Don't kill me. I'm not one of them. Don't listen. I was just hiding. I find I live longer that way. Don't listen. Never let the bastards catch me again. Never! Wait. Who are you?
Hi.
Druth? Is that you?
For my tales of the Northmen, they call me Druth. A liar. An old fool. Druth is my truth.
How much work do they do on Senua's model? Her model's insane.
Guide you in this life and the next. I will tell you my stories of hell, if I may walk with you.
Is he a model or is that like an FMV?
I'm listening.
The runes seal the gates to hell. Focus your inner eye, and you too will see what's hidden in plain sight.
I can see one.
Hold it in your mind's eye. Find one like it to open the gate.
Like in here? But I need to wait. What about this one that's right here? Not that one? Oh god. So is there supposed to be one in this room? Oh, whoa. Hi. Well, I'm glad you just gave it to me. Oh, it's much more obvious now. Okay. Did that work? It appeared to have worked. Okay.
The gate is open. Go through the gate.
Go through it.
It's dangerous.
Follow it.
It worked.
I can't tell if these voices are helpful or not.
I spent 6 years enslaved in hell. But I watched the Northmen. Learned their ways.
I know you did.
You listened when everyone else laughed. My people paid a heavy price. Carry my stories with you, and together we will make the Northmen feel our fury.
Yeah.
Another voice joins us. She was trying to make them go away. Pretend they weren't real.
Yeah, well, we got lots of you now.
What is that? When we are always here.
Yeah, I've noticed. You don't shut up much. Oh, this is...
I guess it's the same with heights. You can stand on the edge, pretend it's going to be okay,
Yeah,
but you know that death is near,
could be.
waiting for you.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, I can balance. I think I balanced her. I naturally tried to do that, and I'm not sure if it actually was me or if it was just letting me. Hi, what do you have to say now?
The world of the dead is ruled by the giantess, Hela, daughter of
Do I want to go down or do I want to go around
gods
here?
feared her bloodline, bad on her mother's side and yet much worse on her father's. So, as a child, the All-Father cast her down into Helheim and gave her power over those who die of sickness, age, hardship, and self-slaughter. In all of the
There is
nine
no
worlds,
HUD at
only
all.
Hela
I just realized.
The dead.
No prompts.
To Hela, your Dillion was sacrificed.
These are some of the best audio logs I've heard in a long time. Okay, she naturally crouches. Fight begins is the achievement we just got. Great.
Look at it. You have to open it.
The gate to Helheim divides the living from the dead. Is that the face of Hela herself? The half-rotten goddess that rules over Helheim.
You just
Whatever
gonna...
horrors lie behind that door. She must find him.
Are you strong enough to open it?
Someone's here.
Time to die. Talking about me specifically. This is mesmerizing. Me?
You took him from me.
Who?
I beg you. Let him go.
What?
I'll give you what you want. I won't resist anymore. Just give him back.
Oh, shit. Oh? Am I supposed to do anything? Oh, hi. Alright, we got a fucked up arm and there's a freaking... Oh, hi. Okay. Oh. Very slow, deliberate movement. Oh! Okay. Oh. I'm on Dark Souls controls right now. Well, that looked fucking cool.
Take him down. Take him down. She finished him.
Okay, that was cool. Okay, I gotta remember what the... Like, I looked at the controls, but... Okay, it auto-locks me? Oh, that was cool! Nice! This looks so cool! Oh, parries! Oh my god, that was sick! Okay. Oh, shit. Shit. Wait, it's real dark. Oh, I missed it. Is there more than one? What do I do? I don't seem to be able to hurt them. What do I do? It's getting real dark. Does that mean I'm about to lose? I can't see. Okay, I think that means I lost. I think... Was that a supposed to lose, or was I just doing something wrong? Noted, I hate supposed to lose fights in games when they're not abundantly obvious. Are we dead? Did we lose? She looks dead.
vision of what's to come.
Okay.
Poor Senua. The darkness does not bargain. It does not reason. It is rot. And now it has taken hold. It will spread towards her head, the seat of the soul, until there is nothing left of her.
Some traumatizing
All
shit.
of her
Jesus
suffering
Christ.
have been for nothing. It's just a matter of time.
Dark rot will grow each time you fail. Okay. So if I die... Does this game actually have a semi, like, permanent loss mechanic? Oh, shit!
The hardest battles are fought in the mind. That is what Dillian taught her.
Okay, so don't suck too much, I
With
guess.
defeat, the dark rot will grow and soon it will take her soul. But for now, at least, she still has control of her mind. And she will fulfill her vow. Whatever the cost.
Again, Senua's model is incredible. It's fantastic.
Listen to me, Senua. The goddess Hela lies behind the gate to Helheim. To open the gate, you must first face the gods that guard it. The god of fire, Zurt, and the god of illusion, Valravn. Spill their blood to open the gate to Helheim and enter the land of the dead.
So what is this, then? Oh, that's just another information stone.
The Northmen say that in the beginning there was nothing but darkness. Bitter cold to the north, fiery hot to the south. They say the cold formed ice, which melted from the sparks from the south. The power of the darkness gave life to the dripping ice, and the first giant was born, and was named Valravn.
Oh,
Ancestor of the seers and master of
it overdid
the
the audio.
He hunts his prey with his powers of illusion and feasts on their remains.
Oh, this is the illusion guy? Oh, well.
Follow the path to Valravn and defeat him in battle to earn his mark. The gate to Helheim cannot be opened without it.
Okay, I kind of actually feel like we've hit the mark where the first impression should end. Because I feel like now we're just moving into an actual, like, level. Like, now it just falls into the regular game. I feel like the actual introduction of the game has ended. Doesn't look like combat is possible unless there's something to fight. What were the other controls in here? Fast, heavy, melee, block, evade. Interact is X. Focus. Nothing's on left trigger? Interesting. Yeah, I'm pretty sure now we just get to just move about freely. Is this a discoverable? It is.
Ymir was a frost giant, a being of darkness.
It's like the best audio
All
logs
his
I've ever
sons
seen in
and
a game.
grandsons were dark after him. Of his daughters and granddaughters, some were monstrous, but others fair. But there was another who came from the ice.
Oh,
Buri. In shape, he was
dark
like
over
a
there.
man, big and powerful. His son, Bor, took a fair giant to be his wife, and they had 3 sons. Odin was the eldest, and the Northmen hold him to be the
He is getting
foremost of
quieter.
the gods. The
Okay. I do think that this is where we're going to stop, though, because I'm pretty sure moving through here, we just go into the rest of the puzzles, like with the runes, some more combat, and maybe a couple mechanics that I haven't seen just quite yet. But I do have enough here to build what my initial impression is of the game. So at that point, then, I will pass it back to myself. Peace.
So Ninja Theory said when they were making this game that they were making this game on a good budget, not on this big massive AAA budget, but they're going to make a game for less money and have the game take less time to make and to play, but deliver a very high quality experience. Whatever you want to call that. If you want to call that a double A experience instead of a triple A experience or whatever. And also on the idea that they could charge less for it. So they put in, X amount of money, which I recall the number being like, I don't want to say the wrong number. And the game was only $30 at launch, and the game is only about 8 hours long. But I feel like what they were going for, they ultimately, even without having finished the game, are nailing as squarely on the target as possible. There are things in here that are not perfect, that are not great, that are lacking just that little bit of polish. And then there's some other things that are in here that are polished even better than a lot of the super big budget AAA games that I have ever played, which already in itself nails what they were going for. And the quality of the experience, if I wasn't looking at it with a critical eye, is really, really something special. And I'm sure that a lot of people already know this, but given the game's 3 years old, it's got a sequel coming up in Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga. It's going to be an Xbox Game Pass game. It's going to be on computers and Xbox. But looking at this game, I am so impressed with so many things. So, we'll start with the things that I am very impressed with. I mentioned multiple times in there, I'm very impressed with Senua herself and the audio design. Like, Senua's model is incredible. Like, I don't even know how they made Senua look as good as she does. In terms of some of the things we have seen, even coming out from next generation of the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X games, and nothing looks like Senua does. She looks like a person, and I don't even mean she's got proper proportions and she's not, a perfectly sculpted, symmetrical person and she looks normal. I mean all the way down to her textures, to the imperfections of the every last inch of herself and the textures that make up her visual. There's a couple times that, especially if she's wet, if she's not dry, and depending on the cutscene and stuff like that, that it's like, okay, now you look like a game model. But there's also lots of times where you're looking at her that it looks like you're just looking at a person, which is really, really hard to do without either it just looking like a really well done game model or looking super uncanny valley. And it's neither of those. It's above those. Her model specifically is beautifully crafted. They did use 3D binaural audio, which I have a game that I love a lot called Hunt Showdown that does the same thing. And the developers that take advantage of this technology are doing masterful things with it. And it's so noticeable here. The way that the voices not only feel like some of them are in your head, which I understand is what they were going for, but the positioning and directions of those voices gives them a layer of depth that you cannot achieve otherwise. And that's why obviously you would want to play this game with headphones. You want it to be a quieter room. You want to have that sound right here so that experience is delivered to you correctly. And having that experience delivered in that way was it gets into your brain in a different way. And like Hunt Showdown's a FPS, and it does the same thing of the level of actual immersion to the point where you're not hearing game sounds, you are just hearing sounds. And I realize that's kind of a fine line to weave, but when you find that difference between it sounds like you're just hearing normal sounds, or psychotic voices in your head, or hearing that gunshot from exactly that direction and not just the game says it's to your right, is such a different experience from anything else that I've ever experienced in video games. And it truly, truly, truly revolutionizes an experience that will take an experience from just incredibly good to absolutely great. And they immediately introduced that in Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, and it's masterfully done. Other thing is, and I'm just going to go full positives, full negatives, okay? And the other positive is the animation work. The actions look like outside of if you're just like jerking in a circle, Senua moves very, very naturally, which is very difficult to do, even with motion capture software, motion capture work. It's still difficult to make right. And this also lends to what I talked to earlier about Senua looking like a person. Part of that is because she moves like a person. And even in combat where you're doing these crazy wild movements, it just looks so good because of how handcrafted these beautiful animations are. And it's made all the more by the fact that there's no HUD. There is nothing on your screen besides Senua and the world around you. And that just lends to this great, deep experience. Now, two things. I only have two things on negative. I just went around for a while about positive. I do have two things that I was like, One is there are some visuals that were skipped over for the sake of the budget and for everything else. One of the biggest ones that stuck out really bad is water. And I understand that water's really, really hard. Water's made up of trillions and trillions of particles, and we can't really render that many particles, so you instead get these weird fluid motions, and it's hard to make moving water look good, and it sticks out really bad again in this game. The water sticks out. Even the water in the beginning when you're rowing to the water on the waterfall sticks out pretty bad. And there's some world textures that are they're just there. They just exist. I mean, if you're not looking, again, I said originally, if you're not looking at them critically, you might overlook them, especially because like when you're crawling through the caves and stuff like that, cave walls, actually pretty low res. At least they felt low res. They didn't look that great. But these are just small nitpicks, and it's clear where they decided to put focus and invest their time and money into a better experience than worrying about the small things like water and the texture of a rock. And I'm able to forgive those things. Water, fuck water, man, just whatever. And the textures, because I was specifically looking at textures while I went through, I noticed them. But if I was focused on enjoying the game, then I might feel differently and I might not have noticed them anyway. The other thing is the way that the game presents itself, and I don't necessarily mean the hallucination nature of it. You are dropped into the middle of the story. Something has already happened, and you find out that later that it is that Senua has lost whoever her beloved is. She's trying to go into hell to get them or something, and that's the problem. That the most that I can say is or something. And as I said during the gameplay portion of this review, it's okay to drop somebody into the middle of the story, but you can't operate strictly on the idea that you're in the middle of the story. Because when you're presenting that to the viewer, whether you're playing a game, watching a movie, watching a TV show, reading a book, there has to be some exposition offered somewhere to put us where we need to be, so that if we want to have those questions about what's happening, we can still have them and you can piece them together. But if you don't give us something to really put us where we need to be, we're just gonna be lost. And if that's what you want, that's fine, but it doesn't necessarily make for a great experience, because instead of paying attention to what you are trying to show them, or the experience or whatever it is, your viewer may be your consumer may be very much just sitting there going, okay, I get what you're saying, but why? Or I get what you're saying, but why here? Why here? And that's not what you want. You want to avoid that. And they tried, but it's very, very, very thin string that they're pulling on you by. Now, the game's gorgeous. It plays well. And there is enough there, especially if you're into Norse mythology at all, that you could easily, that string's going to get a little bit stronger because you're going to be willing to follow it anyway. But from a critical standpoint, looking at it objectively, it's a little bit rocky in terms of its actual initial opening presentation. That said, I really enjoyed it. I definitely was getting some anxiety in my chest because of how good the presentation was, the things that were happening, the things that were being said, the things that were happening in my own head. And that's a testament to how well they have designed this experience. It's a great first impression, and it's only like an 8-hour-long game, according to howlongtobeat.com, so I'm gonna sit down like over this upcoming weekend and just play through it and be probably hyped as fuck for the upcoming sequel. On the next episode of First Impressions, we are going to be doing One Shot. And I know very little about this at all, beyond a very large recommendation from a few different people. If there's something that you want us to do for First Impression, leave in the comments down below. Catch up with us on Discord or Twitter. Links to everything, again, in the description down below. One Shot, I know, is this indie game where you're playing as this cute thing, and you go on an adventure, and that's all I got. I don't know anything about it. I know what its visual style is, and that's about it. I also know that it's also called One Shot because you get one shot. It's one of those games that if you try to like uninstall it and reinstall it or try and cheat it in some way, kind of like Undertale, that the game actually stores information somewhere else on your computer to verify that you have played it already. And a subsequent playthrough or trying to cheat something that happened in the game is changed or doesn't work because of that hard file that is saved somewhere else. I don't know. I know the general idea of it. I don't know the specifics. I'm excited to see what it has in store and if it has a good first impression or not. I did mention in the intro we do go live on Twitch. We go live on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Check out the description below if you'd like to check out the channel. Also, if you're enjoying what you see, if you want to see that one shot of first impression, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. If we hit 100 subscribers, we'll begin doing monthly giveaways. So if that's something you're interested in, hit that button, and I'd love to see you next time. If you do go check out the live stream, or if I see you in another one of the YouTube videos. No, that's backwards. If you do go check out one of the other YouTube videos, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy.